Shalom to security consultant Yair Ansbacher.
Hello.
So these days you're talking to us and also through the media with a video that has been sent, circulating around the web about the 3 miracles of what happened on October 7th. You know, we're talking about the massacre and the tragedy, and we're following so many horrific stories, and they're there, but you're also saying we must recognize the miracles, 3 miracles.
Yes, exactly. There is a very important thing we need to do in the beginning of our conversation, that to separate between the feeling and being Jewish and being human and being an Israeli and a father and a son and a brother, and being and try to analyze the thing in military strategic way. And that's what I'm going to try to do. And so I'm asking permission and
to put aside our
the
feelings
thing.
at this point.
So when we're talking about what happened, we need to understand that we are under attack, and this is a big area war that Iran, through her proxies, tried to demolish, to devastate the Israeli state, and they planned this thing first ideologically, and then I would say tactically and strategically in the last 40 years. And what they tried to do is to attack us from both sides simultaneously, both from the north against the Galil brigade and from the south against the Gaza brigade. And they planned it very, very wisely. But as I said, there were 3 big major miracles, and we need to say thank you to God Almighty about that. So the first thing is that they didn't do it by combine the forces.
With the North.
Yeah, there is another important person that was talking about the theory of special operations forces. His name is James Kiras, he's a Canadian. And he was talking about the fact that when you are fighting a war, you need to go both from the rear and from the front. And then you're putting the enemy on the horns of the dilemma. You know, because you need to go front and to the rear. So that's what they needed to do, but they didn't. So they attacked only the south, and the Hezbollah waited too long. And when I was driving down south in that Shabbat, I was looking in the clock, and I said to myself, every hour, our situation is getting better and better. We're improving, because I knew that we have this time limit, that after a couple of hours, the big army, it won't be a surprise anymore, and they can't surprise you twice.
And really, Israel sent forces,
of course,
like a crazy amount up north to eliminate
in a couple of hours.
Any surprise.
And everybody understands that. So after a couple of hours, that's it. You can't do the Radwan forces like the Nukhba. Is strategic, is about surprise. As McCraven said, you need relative superiority, using surprise. Use a small force in a very impressive shock and awe technique. Okay,
now that's the first miracle.
So
the fact that
it didn't happen.
The second miracle that you're talking about is the way they operated versus what they were planning to do.
That's right. Because the satanic plan, the strategic plan was to take the Palestinians, to give them those very advanced weapons and techniques in order to make them much more stronger than they are. Special weapons against our armored cars, special weapons against everything, okay? Very planned, spontaneous. I'm talking about real stuff that, of course, it's confident, but you can trust me about this. And the Hamas itself, they did 2 severe mistakes. The first one, they didn't use quite right those weapons. They didn't really get it because they were secret. Some of the Hamas didn't know about the weapons. They got like tubes, closed plastic tubes. Inside there was tandem RPG shells. They didn't know how modern and what exactly to do with them. I saw movies with the GoPro shooting, and they say tandem, yalla tandem. They didn't quite understand what type of weapons they had. So they're very low tech.
They didn't understand the potential of the weapons.
The potential.
Okay.
And the second thing is they needed to go advance inland and go after the strategic bases of the Air Force, the IAF, and of as you said, in intelligence places.
So
and they didn't. They messed the thing.
They were supposed to take control of the kibbutzim, but then continue.
No, they actually didn't need the kibbutzim. They needed to take some kidnapped hostages, about 200, as they did. That's okay, because this thing is about making us being in a
Fragile.
In a fragile and very complicated situation psychologically. They know how much we care about people. So that's the whole thing. It's not like Gilad Shalit. It's something else.
Okay,
Just
but
take them,
so they should have
and
continued.
then go inland. And when you go inland, you can take to make a new front, make the situation very worse for the IDF try to reconquer, and take those strategic areas that actually really Iran is scared about the IAF. He's afraid of the IAF, so take the bases.
So basically, you're saying
and you can kill them. You can kill the plane.
You're saying that the fact that they were so murderous and they stayed and they fought
and drugged, they used the Captacon pills.
That basically created a situation where they stayed in the kibbutzim and didn't continue.
It was like a big,
to the bases.
big horror party.
Wow.
And it's actually something really interesting because they used drugs that the Iranian gave them, Hezbollah made, Captagon, which pills make you very brave, but it also make you very, I would say...
Not focused.
Not focused. So they were like all bunching around the kibbutzim, killing, doing horrible things that cannot be described, really. But they didn't do their military missions as they should.
And the third miracle that you're talking about is about us.
That's
about you guys, about the people who went to fight, about the Israeli nation who are out there, everyone.
Some people,
to some extent.
That's very important. This is a very important point. What the Israeli state have done to the Jewish people in the last 75 years, something amazing, because of the things we saw here, because of the IDF, because of a lot of things.
Because of our challenges.
Our challenges, living here, we are no longer in the galut. We are no longer sheeps. We are our lambs. We are a nation.
To slaughter.
To slaughter. Khalila. We are now a nation of lions. And what those maniacs, terrorists, Nazis, whatever, ran into when it got into, after they crossed the line, was thousands of Israeli heroes. Women, youth, of course soldiers, people, police officers, kitat konenut, I don't know how to say that in English, the reserve.
The security forces, security teams.
Everybody just kill them, fight with them. Of course, many casualties. Of course, people fight till death. I saw horrible things. I saw a member of security, how do you call it?
Security team. A local security team.
Dead on the grass in one of the kibbutzim, circled by 3 terrorists dead.
That he killed.
That he killed! So
he sacrificed his life, but he was able...
sacrificed his life to save the civilians, really. And that's his amazing thing. And like this tsunami, he didn't found sand on the shoreline. He found rocks. And he crashed on the rocks. And we killed him. And after 36 hours, the Israeli nation just killed those bastards.
Mm-hmm. And with that spirit of Nation of Lions, the Israeli soldiers are everywhere. Israeli people are everywhere.
I was
helping
afraid
each other.
for 4 or 5 years while doing my research on this war. I was afraid by this major surprise. Surprise, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's Pearl Harbor. It's a strategic surprise, and they did very, very good. Not good enough. They shot the lion in the leg, which is a horrible mistake. Every hunter knows that. You shoot to the head, or you don't shoot at all. They shoot us to the leg. We are now a very awake lion. We are very hungry, and we are coming for them.
Yair Atzbacher, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck.